On today's episode of Watch Jericho, we're back with Brian and his insane Porsche collection, along with a lot of other very cool cars at Epicenter Garage. And we're gonna turn some wrenches. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Jericho, and like I said, I'm here with Brian and one of his amazing turbo Porsches. And the last time I was down here, he's sitting here getting ready to put the clutch in this car. And I was like, well, what are you waiting on? Let's get to work, you know? Because I'm here, we might as well work on something. That's usually my thought. That way we can get some projects knocked out and you can get this thing back on the road, which is absolutely insane. Another wide body turbo Porsche.
Yes, yeah, and you're probably gonna regret, offering to help me, because now you're back. I'm like, man, you do actually need to come help me, because I do need help. So I really appreciate it. Yeah. Well, you think, yes, I need your help on this, but actually what we're gonna do first, because I need help over here. So what we're gonna do is actually, hopefully if you're up to this, we're gonna pull the engine out of the RSR.
Oh, okay.
But before we do that, since my mount is taken up with this 930 turbo engine.
I see.
So basically I've been using these. These are actually old casket carriers. And so I got them at the funeral home because I'm too cheap. I know you know all about that, right? I'm not calling you cheap, but I just did.
Well, what do these cost? These are actual
These were free. I got like 6 of them. And so this one I beefed up. Yeah. And so, but I haven't beefed any of the other ones up. So we have one over here, another casket carrier. And so what you're gonna help me do is you're gonna help me beef this thing up. Actually, I've got some old steel from a building. These were like deals up in the rafters. Sure. And so we're going to beef this thing up, and then we're gonna put some wood in here so we can slide these where we need. And the casters on this, I mean, this thing probably had, this thing probably had over 100 bodies on it at some point, I would imagine. So it's pretty old, but these casters are terrible.
Yeah.
They're just plastic wheels.
Cheap plastic one. You can hear, they barely roll. Yeah, okay.
Terrible.
So we're gonna put on these fancy casters here?
Well, those are our Harbor Freight specials.
Hey, that's a good caster. That's a good caster.
It has to be better than this. You wouldn't think when I got this, I'm like, are you seriously, how much does a casket weigh?
I would assume, you got 150 to 250 pounds on it, plus wood that's 100. Yeah. So out of 300, 400 pounds.
And then you have somebody that could be 300 pounds in the casket. Yeah, so I'm like, this would be insane to try to move a casket on. So, I mean, it's probably strong enough it is, to obviously pull a dead engine out of an RSR to be able to take the weight, but I don't know. It's just, because usually probably the load is probably out here.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, they even have the pickup points for the load there. So.
Yeah, well, there you're right. You're exactly. I didn't even notice those. So. Anyway, you are the expert at fabricating stuff and figuring stuff out. So I figured, who better to come down and give me a hand?
I'm not even a welder or a grinder. I'm neither. But
Well,
I bet we can put something together.
Well, that's what we got to do today, because we got to. Obviously, we don't have the time to drop that in and hurry up and use that one. So we have to make this work somehow. And then, have you ever pulled an engine out of a 911?
I haven't.
Today's that day.
That's it. So let's do it.
Today's the day. There's always room for something new. So
cool.
You're making quick work of it. I hit
51 inches, I'd say. Yeah, so 25 and a half.
25 and a half.
Or 25 and a quarter, whichever one.
25 and a quarter. All right. I'm just afraid these things might flail out.
Sure. Do you want to mark both sides then?
Yeah, let's mark both sides. So 25 and a quarter. Cool. It doesn't have to be super fine. No, we are just close. Working on the casket carrier.
Close
so
as the move, has to be. Sure.
I am not a very good welder at all. So I'm sure, you say you're not good, but I guarantee you're much better than me by a long shot. By a long shot.
The trick is I bought that awesome Harbor Freight welder. The fully digital one.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and you just dial in what the material size is, and it automatically sets up the welder, and that's the only reason my weld's not good.
Seriously?
It's amazing. I have no idea.
I didn't even, oh man.
No idea how to set up a welder. All right, we got this thing all welded up. I guess ignore those. We were having problems getting the wire and the gas to work right down there. Once we got up here, got into a nice rhythm, got the welder all sorted out, and finally got a couple okay welds on there. So I'm pretty proud of those ones.
Oh, you did. Oh, are you kidding me? He did awesome. 10 times better than I could have ever imagined.
I tried.
Well, it's not like you knew you were going to be welding on a casket this morning, or a casket card anyway, so.
Well, let's get this dead engine on the casket.
Let's get it going, yep. Throw this away and we'll get cranking.
Like, look at all the wire on this.
No way.
So we just dropped the car and repositioned the lift arms a little bit. The old lift point was right there on the sway bar, and now we're back onto the pinch weld of the car, which clears everything up. The sway bar has to come down real quick. And then we have 4 bolts left to get the engine out of this thing. So we did all that work before here on the casket carrier, just so we'd have something to set this engine on here in a second, and it's infinitely configurable. So should let you slide around to where you need to pick up the engine and the transmission, and you are good to go. So we're gonna get this work of art out of here in just a moment. Billet distributor, man.
Isn't that something?
Everything on here is billet.
Yes.
This is beautiful. Who built these?
What's that?
Pinta Motorsports?
Pinta Motorsports did those, yeah. They do a really good job.
Nice.
And they did the exhaust system as well, which you can't see on here right now. But
sure.
yeah.
So Brian and I pulled out all 4 bolts that hold the engine in on this thing, and within seconds, honestly, we had the thing coming out of the car. The engine started to rock a little bit to the passenger side, so Brian just shored this up. Oh, here, if you let me rock the engine back real quick, I'll pull down on this valve cover.
Oh, okay.
And that should give you room.
No, I think I've got it. You know what? Actually, put it on the inside so it sits on the oil deal right there.
Okay.
There we go. Cause yeah, it will want to rock a little bit, but I'm pretty tight right here, so it'll be good.
If you're not worried, I'm not worried.
It'll be good. Well, famous last words.
You're like, I'm a little worried.
Oh yeah. Looks good. Yes, sir. Nice.
Yeah,
nice. Buddy. Yes. Oh my gosh. I wish this thing was going back in, but you know.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, that's that's. Well, let me tuck it up here and
try to stop the oil.
Yeah, there's only like 21, 20, almost, well, no, there's 18 ports in this thing, which is ridiculous.
Crazy.
Which is ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
One project down.
One project down, and I'll get this thing crated up and off to the engine builder. Let's take a look at how nice this thing rolls. Oh, look at that.
Not bad.
Oh my gosh. Who would have thought from one dead guy? I wonder who the last person that was on that. They were probably moving a 911 engine, probably.
Probably.
Probably. So good to get this thing out, because I'm going to ship in the whole transmission, everything, ready to go. So yeah, I probably pull the plug.
That's what I was going to ask. Do we need to pull the transmission off?
Well, nah, probably not.
Crate it all?
Yeah, I'll probably just crate it all. Build a big crate for it, and I might already have a crate up in the mezzanine. So.
What an engine?
Because this is actually almost a 3.9 liter, 3.8.
Oh, wow.
So it's about 365 horsepower. Compression ratio, this isn't a full-on race engine because I drive this car on the street.
Yeah.
So, but this next round, I think we're going to bump the compression up, and yeah, it should put out about 385, 390 horsepower, but about 350 foot-pounds of torque, 360.
On race gas?
On race gas, yes.
Okay.
110 octane.
Okay.
Yeah, race gas. So.
It is a beautiful engine.
But. Yeah, I cannot thank you enough.
Oh, of course, man.
Oh, there's so many times when this thing, to all your viewers, that John helped me out, that I would have like ripped multiple things off. If not, it would have. If you didn't say, "Hey, stop!" So.
Well, this is obviously, it's a bit easier than a bunch of the stuff I do because there's not 980 connections to the engine.
I'm trying to start you off on something, easy, because then we pull a Countach. No,
let's do it.
A Countach engine is like a 2-day affair. A lot of cussing, a lot of swearing, a lot of pizza.
This is an oil return?
Oil return line.
Okay, return from the cooler up.
So even though 911 engines, they say they're air cooled, Honestly, they're about half and half oil cooled primarily, because a lot of oil runs through these engines, especially race motors.
Sure.
Oil coolers up in front, feeds oil all the way back.
I mean, the oil lines on this thing are outrageous.
Yeah, they're pretty decent size. So yeah, oil filter here. Yeah, remote filter here,
and
runs all the way up inside the car.
Crazy.
And then another oil filter in line as well in the car, more of a micro filter.
The work is beautiful on these. That's for sure.
It's not too bad. They stitched the tubs, all that. This one's been through, a lot of races, a lot of hits and bangs. Not really crashes, but
sure.
Racing cars is really hard on cars.
Absolutely.
You know all about that. I mean, as soon as you get on the track.
Very tough. Now we just have to do another one.
Yeah, if you've got time, which I know you do, right? I don't know, but that might be another.
I've got 20 minutes.
Oh,
easy.
20 minutes.
20
that
minutes
might set a new record, but we can do it. I've got faith.
Problem.
I've got faith in us.
Let's do it.
All right.
I've got a 5 here, which is probably what it is.
It is okay. I was going to put it on.
And how tight do you want these now that
pretty tight.
I figured pretty tight.
Yeah.
That tight?
Yeah. Oh, right there. That was good.
Yeah.
Right on the money.
The wrist click.
Right on the money.
Yep.
Click. All right.
Awesome. There's just some jobs. You need somebody that...
Absolutely. All right, we have the flywheel on and it's all torqued down. It's kind of cool. It has a cartridge style pilot bearing there. So that's all put together too. And you can hear Brian is assembling the clutch here. So we're about to drop the disc in. And I assume you got an alignment tool too?
I do, yes.
Okay.
The plug that goes right in, yep, I do. So.
All right. All new hardware. Ooh, that looks nice.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
New clutch disc too.
Yes. Oh,
so are you ditching this starter and going to another high torque?
I am.
Okay.
Yes.
I saw you had a high torque on that.
I mean, this one's gonna get close to that point where you got to hit it with a hammer to get it to start. I can just tell by looking at it.
Yes.
So I don't like having to crawl up under a Porsche late at night and hit it with a hammer. 'Cause I have some cars that I actually have a hammer with me, some 911s, and I'm like, not today, man. Not today.
So a big upgrade there, and we're gonna try to stick the transmission on right now too.
You got it.
A few seconds later, we are ready to put the transmission on this thing. You can see Brian just installed the throwout bearing right there. It's a giant unit, really cool. The clutch, where does the clutch even actuate from? The bottom of this thing?
It does.
Oh, yeah, I see, right there. I see.
Yep.
You got a big spline drive, and then there's a shaft that comes up, runs that thing in and out to press on the clutch fingers. And you can see we just got this thing all installed, and we are torquing it down to spec, and of course, it's a great sound right there. Clutch is completely lined and ready to drop on. So in a couple of minutes, well, obviously it's hard to shoot one-handed and also mount a transmission on an engine, but we got this thing put on just a few moments ago. As you can see, everything is together through the inspection window there, and we've got the bolts on and kind of tightened down. This one has to move sides and the starter's got to go on, but it's basically completely together. So Brian is ready to
Oh man, I owe this guy a lot. Thank you so much. Oh man, I tell you.
No problem.
Handshake on this one, man, because that's worth a hearty handshake. Because he did, you guys, all your viewers out there. I couldn't have done this without you, and
you would have got it.
No, I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. I mean, he literally welded this cart up, a funeral cart for a casket, welded that up, helped me pull the RSR engine out, found multiple things on there because I literally would have ripped like, I don't know, was it throttle cable?
The throttle cable and that oil pressure?
I would have ripped it right out. Two things.
It happens.
Yes, it does. But thank you so much. And then of course, You know, I didn't think you'd have enough time to do this, but man, you're like, let's get on it. And 20 minutes later with your help.
We did get it done in 20 minutes, didn't we?
We did. Well,
not
thanks
bad
to you, so.
Not bad.
Oh, thank you so much.
I mean, everything was already ready to go. I didn't do anything.
I don't think so.
It was ready to go. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more stuff down here at Epicenter Garage, let me know. I'll throw a link to them in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjairgo.com for cool shirts not like this, or just like this, actually. And please, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. This is what you guys wanted to see anyway, just the insanity that is this glass wall. Crazy stuff. There's the one right there.